We are working now with multiplication of fractions. How do we multiply fractions in general? Well, the multiplication of fraction is the easiest operations with fractions. The first thing that you need to do is make sure that you get the line of fractions. Then what you need to do is take the numerator of two fractions and multiply them. 4 times 3 is 12. Take the denominators of two fractions and multiply them. 5 times 7 is 35. And your result is 12 over 35. Now you may wonder, do I need to reduce this fraction? Yes, every time that you end up with a fraction, you always need to reduce it. But the point is, can you reduce this fraction? Go back and check what you have right here. You have the number 4. And number 4 is nothing else than a multiplication of 2 times 2. You have the number 3, that is a prime number. So at the numerator, basically, you have 2 times 2 times 3. 3 prime numbers. And at the denominator, you have 5 times 7, that they are 2 other prime numbers. And the numbers that you have at the numerator with the numbers that you have at the denominator cannot be reduced, cannot be cancelled out, because they are all primes, but they are relative primes. They have no relation between themselves. Okay, so what does this mean? Well, this means that you are done with this multiplication. This is the result and you cannot simplify it any more. Let's see the second problem. Okay, what do we have here? We have 2 times 7 over 5 times 4. Remember, to multiply two fractions, what we have to do is multiply the two numerators and then multiply the two denominators. So we have 14 over 20. Okay, beautiful. Now, can I reduce those? Well, it is obvious that 14 is an even number and 20 is another even number. So this means that we can definitely reduce those. We can at least cancel out the 2 out of them, meaning simplify them, reduce them by a factor of 2. If you divide the 14 by 2, the result is 7. If you divide the 20 by 2, the result is 10. So what do you get? You get 7 over 10. Is this a final answer? Well, look at it carefully and tell me, is there any way you can take the 7 over 10 and simplify it further? What do you think? Well, 7 is a prime number, 10 is 2 times 5. I cannot simplify this further. So that's it. You're right. This is the final answer for this multiplication. So when you multiply fractions, what you need to do is to make sure that you multiply the numerators, then multiply the denominators, and then reduce the fractions. Okay, beautiful. Now look at the result, at the problem that you have at the bottom. This is a quite confusing, long problem. Imagine if you have to multiply all these numbers as I told you. Okay, let me do it for you. What do you have? You have 5 times 9 times 21 times 30. And this will give you the numerator. The numerator is 28,350. Let me write it for you. I hope that I will not forget it. 28,350. 28,350 is the numerator. And now I look at the denominator. Well, the denominator is 3 times 25 times 12 times 14. The denominator is 12,600. Okay, let me write this for you. 12,600. Now you may say, what do I do? Am I done? Of course you are not. You have to reduce this fraction. But these are huge. A huge numerator with a huge denominator. How am I going to deal with that? That's correct. How are you going to deal with this? That's why I'm going to show you now a trick. When you have a multiplication of fractions, the right way to do it is to multiply the numerators together, the denominators together, and then reduce. But many times this is not a good idea because you can produce huge numerators and denominators and then it's impossible or really difficult to reduce it. So what would you do? Okay, let me show you what I will do. I will rewrite now the numerators and the denominators that I have for this product, but I'm not going to perform the product, the multiplication. I will just put them together. Not only I will put them together, but I will try to write them simpler. Like for example, instead of the 25 at the denominator, I will write 5 times 5. Instead of the 12, I will write the prime factorization of 12, that is 2 times 2 times 3. So this is the number 12. And instead of the 14, I will write 2 times 7. Okay, beautiful. So you see, I have the product, but I haven't performed the actual computations yet. Instead of 9 at the numerator, I will write 3 times 3. Instead of 21, I will write 3 times 7. And instead of 30, I will write 5 times 6, that is times 2 times 3. Okay, beautiful. So remember, I have done these beautiful caps here in order to show you that these are the numbers that you have on top. 9 is 3 times 3, 21 is 3 times 7, 30 is 5 times 2 times 3, and so on. Okay, now you have all of them at the numerator, all of them at the denominator. Can you cancel out common factors from the numerator and the denominator? Of course you can. 5 with 5. Do you agree? Yes, they are common, and they are the numerator and the denominator. 5 with 5. Yes, I can do it. 3 with 3. 3 with another 3. 7 with 7. 2 with 2. And another 3 right here. And I have here 3 and 3. Is there anything else that I can simplify? Well, no, that's it. So I get 3 times 3 is 9. And let me write it for you. At the numerator, I have 9. And at the denominator, I have a remainder of 2 times 2, that is 4. And this is my final answer. So as you can see, sometimes it is easier to follow this little trick in order to complete the numerator and the multiplication of the fractions, especially if you have more than one or than two fractions.